It's Unstable Topic with Sarah and Maggie.
Please hold for an important message.
Hey, you've reached Sarah Adams. I can't get to my phone right now, so just leave me a quick message and I'll give you a call back as soon as I can. Thanks.
Hey, Sarah, it's Maggie. I wanted to call because, as you know, the Monthly Junk, our YouTube channel, just celebrated its birthday. It was 10 years of having a YouTube channel together. And I'm pretty sure I know you, and I know you sent me a little something in the mail, I'm sure, like a surprise for celebrating 10 years of the Monthly Junk's YouTube. And I just wanted you to know, whatever the surprise is, it hasn't made it to my house yet. So you might want to check the tracking link or whatever you sent. I don't know. I'm pretty excited about it. Again, I know that you're trying to surprise me, but I'm so proud of having a YouTube channel with a decade's worth of really fabulous content at the Monthly Junk. And I know that so many more people are going to subscribe and follow it and like all our old videos, and I'm going to really like whatever gifts you sent. So just check with the post office because it hasn't arrived. Thank you.
End of message.
Hey, welcome to Unstable Topics, a fast-paced, jam-packed, unhinged bestie podcast filled with facts, reacts, and made-up games in between.
We're your hosts, Sarah
And Maggie.
and we're excited for you to join our best friend hangout, where we surprise one another with things we find interesting or hilarious, or just to see how the other will react.
Our friendship might be totally stable, but you never know what your bestie might throw your way to knock you off your game.
So come shake things up, learn something new, and laugh along with us. This is Unstable Topics. Hey, bestie.
Hey, bestie.
So recently we released our Yard of the Month teaser. And when we filmed that, something that I felt was very unstable was this juicy tracksuit knockoff that I had to find, because it's very much like on brand. This film is happening in 2004. This was, key pop culture moment.
You need the velour.
You needed the velour. And what I was not expecting was how much I enjoyed wearing it. And now
you weren't expecting. Did you have one back?
I did not.
Originally?
I did not. No,
You never had one
I
in the
never
early
had.
2000s?
Never had one.
Oh.
I didn't feel, because that time was also like, it's all over your booty. It's a juicy. Like that was the trademark, like over your booty. And then remember Pink had its thing. And,
Yeah.
and I don't remember. I was in college, graduate college in 2005. Never owned a velour tracksuit. No, it wasn't my brand. And so now I'm like, this is kind of comfortable.
It could be your brand now.
I think it might have to be.
This fall, when the weather cools down,
Yeah.
and then early spring, you're gonna pull that out, and you're gonna put it on.
yeah.
It's just a joke, like just walking around your house, and then you're gonna be like, I just gotta go to the grocery store, and then before you know it, you are a cool mom.
Oh my gosh, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to walk Walter up to school in this velour tracksuit, and all the moms be like, wow, I feel like I can now wear my velour tracksuit out in public too. And so the next day, there's more velour tracksuits, because it's coming back, fortunately or unfortunately, wherever you stand on that equation.
I think when it comes to comfort, listen, we went through a global pandemic and we decided that we can wear sweatpants whenever we want. And I think as a society, we have decided that if it's comfortable, you should wear it. And it is objectively true that velour tracksuits are comfortable. And therefore, hereunto-forth, you should be able to wear a tracksuit. It is stated. It is fact.
I completely agree. My only caveat is that they're a little too low for me. I was reluctant to get into the high-waisted trend that started like a decade ago now.
But once you did.
But once I did and became a mother, I'm like, this is very nice for me and my body. I'm not into the super high because my body proportions, that style does not work for me. But this juicy knockoff that I got on Amazon, by the way, came with the top and the bottoms for like $30.
It's like, get it.
I'm like, wow, it actually makes my booty look good.
Yes.
I'm like digging it. And it's pink, and I, like you said, I think this might be my new brand.
And you know what you just need is, since they're not high-waisted, you just need like a fitted white tank, like an extra long tank
Mm-hmm.
that goes down, and like that feel, that
Yeah.
early 2000s feel.
Absolutely.
I'm so happy for you
I
for
feel
this
like,
discovery.
thank you. Thank you. I'm waiting for you to get yours because I think that comes next. And then I'm waiting for us to we'll have a photo shoot in our
And
tracksuits because
yeah,
we did do a photo shoot in tutus. And I feel like this is just an evolution of that.
this is for sure. I don't have a tracksuit. I do have my tie-dye matching hoodie and sweatpant combo that I bought in 2020. That
Yes.
is also similar. It's aligned, but I'll get a tracksuit. I'll get one of those. Should I also get pink, or should I get like yellow, or should I get
That's a great
blue?
question. I don't know. That's a really great question. You
Mm,
can get a different shade of pink. There are different shades of
I could
pink.
get like the light pink. Yeah, I mean, there's so many options. I
There's so
should
many.
really
I'll send you the
explore,
link.
have some fun.
Hey, in the show notes, we'll put the link. So anybody who wants to join, also you can join the Creekside Garden Club
Yeah.
too.
You know what? I'm going to get this tracksuit, but I'm also going to get myself a sweatshirt for Creekside Garden Club. CreeksideGardenClub.com.
Honestly, Maggie, I cannot wait to rock the white sweatshirt when it's cold.
I know. It's also very 2004, but in like a classy Nantucket way.
100%. So classy Nantucket makes me think of the fact I have ready for you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Are you ready for your fact, Maggie?
Of course.
In 1780, two Scottish doctors invented the prototype of the chainsaw, not to cut down trees or clear debris. No, John Aitken and James Jeffray invented the hand crank chainsaw to cut through the pelvises of delivering mothers who were having trouble pushing their babies out.
Sarah, we were talking about Nantucket.
I know, that's what made
This
it
wasn't
funny.
supposed to be about cutting pelvises. Sarah,
you believe
Sarah,
it?
that took such a turn. We've talked about Scotland being home to narwhals and unicorns and magical things. And so you're starting like, oh, we're not cutting down trees. And I was like, what could they be cutting? Like little holes into the hillside to make places for fairies? What could they possibly be doing? And then you come at me, your whole tone changed. Everything got scary. The sun, a cloud went over the sun. There was thunder. I'm horrified by this fact. Sarah.
Oh man, I am like my side hurts from laughing.
You're a sicko. You're a sicko.
I'm not the sicko. The doctors are the sicko that created a chainsaw.
Oh my gosh.
Let that sink in. The chainsaw that we now use to clear debris.
I don't want to let that sink
trees
in.
was invented to help. And I use that term very loosely. Women give birth. They created a tool to cut into women's bodies to help.
Men are so scared of childbirth. Men are so terrified of childbirth that they would literally invent a chainsaw because they don't think that women can give birth. And it's like, I'm sorry, my dude. Just because you can't like get a paper cut without thinking you need to amputate your entire finger does not mean I can't push a baby out of my hoo-ha and recover and be fine.
Oh my gosh, isn't that the truth? That's exactly what it was.
Do you
They're
think
like, this is too hard for them. This is too hard for the women. We must invent a tool to cut their bodies into shambles so the baby can come out. This is too hard.
And like they literally walk into like this woman giving birth and she's like, you get the heck away from me with that.
I see you with that tool. I see what you're doing. You go back, you turn around and go put that up. You know what you could do with that tool? Go cut down a tree.
And then they're like, oh. I'm glad we don't even attempt a Scottish accent.
Oh my gosh, no. Because here's the thing. It can be Scottish. It could be American.
Australian.
It could be Canada. It doesn't matter where these dudes are from. All that matters is two dudes who were doctors thought it would be helpful. Here, let me help this woman out by getting the baby out of the body with a chainsaw. And by the way, his name is James. I added the Jeffray because it's Jeffray.
Oh, that's how you spell Jeffrey in Scottish?
No, that's Jeffray. No, I just Jeffray.
Jeffray. Jeffray.
Jeffray.
Jeffray, get away from me with that.
James Jeffray, stop it. Stop it. You just take that chainsaw and you just go away.
James Jeffray, I said I did not need your help on this. I said you've got me into this mess. You can go get yourself out of it.
My body is made for babies, Jeffray.
James Jeffray.
James Jeffray. So I'm sorry I jarred you with that, Maggie.
Yeah, you really did.
I feel accomplished, though. I'm not going to lie. I feel like I've done my job as your bestie in this podcast to lay out something really unstable.
Truly, the most unstable.
So we just talked about how these two Scottish doctors invented the chainsaw essentially to cut open women who were having a hard time pushing their babies out. What's something what's a tool or gadget that's intended for one thing that you use for something else?
Yeah. My teeth, I use them not just to eat and chew things, but to open stuff.
You do?
I do.
Oh, it drives me nuts.
I use it as another hand.
Wow. Jamie does that. Drives me nuts. And then so Walter sees it. I'm like, guys, you're gonna pull your teeth out.
Yeah, I know. It's something that is it's not a stable thing I do, but I gotta say I do it. It's I'm not a crow or something, I'm not like finding tools and using them for something. I'm just using my own. What do you use?
What do I use? I was just trying to think about that. What's something that's intended for one thing and I use for something else? I feel like
I have another one.
Oh, what's yours?
Like receipts or pieces of paper, I use them to clean my fingernails. I fold them into little tiny triangles and I clean my fingernails.
Those are good, Maggie.
When I was in middle school, it was like in the early 2000s, which you've talked about. And I don't think I was supposed to really tweeze my eyebrows, but I would use toenail clippers and
How would you even would you just clip your eyebrows or would you
No, I'd get it really gently and pull it out because it was before smartphones and before being on the internet all the time. So I just had a lot of time on my hands to make my eyebrows look like tiny caterpillars on my head.
I don't even know the type of skill that would require for you not to clip it all the way, but just slightly grab it enough so it doesn't cut it.
I'm very talented. What about you? What tools?
I'm thinking this through and I don't know, usually maybe when I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. On top of my head, I don't know. Because I like to use things for their intended purpose. That's the type of person I am.
And I like to be like, I can't find the thing that I need for this. I'll use my teeth. Welcome to Putin on the Ritz, the segment where Sarah and Maggie speak in bad Russian accents and share a Ritz cracker recipe from the internet. Sarah, this recipe is easy and delicious, and of course includes Ritz crackers as the star of the show. It is called zesty baked Ritz crackers. You simply cover your crackers in melted butter, pepper them with a little ranch seasoning and parmesan, and then parmesan. I apologize. I have a frog in my throat. Parmesan. Parmesan. And then you bake and enjoy.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
I heard that frog in throat and I was like, oh no, that is not Maggie. That is someone else.
It's so hard sometimes when I am telling a recipe, my mouth starts salivating.
Because it sounds so good.
That then when I go to continue reading, sometimes I get the frog in my throat and I say things like, Parmesan!
Wow, this recipe is one for the mooks. Yes. It's one that would warm me up in the cold, but also a nice treat for afternoon because it's so simple. It's so simple.
So simple. It's just really three of my favorite things. It is four of my favorite things. The Ritz cracker, which we love. It is the butter, which make everything better. Butter is better.
Butter is better.
Ranch seasoning. Which delicious.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Parmesan.
Wow. Have you tried this recipe? I wonder if the Parmesan cheese, if it's because it's so sharp, and so
Ah,
sharp with the ranch. It makes it
yeah.
nice and like a good flavor meld in mouth. Like if you
Mm.
will use a Gouda, it will be too loose. The
Yes, yes.
Parmesan is really more of a sharpness.
Sharpness. The Parmesan. The Parmesan is so delicious because it's like a sprinkling, like just a little snowflake. Gouda's too heavy.
Too heavy.
Mozzarella too
Gouda, even
stretchy.
the sound of Gouda is so
It's
heavy.
heavy
It's
on
heavy on your throat. It's Gouda.
yes,
Gouda, yes.
yes, Gouda is good, but not
It's
for
good,
this.
not for
Not
this
for this.
recipe. I'm very excited for Ritz to give us money for promoting their crackers with all these delicious ingredients.
Yes, yes. Everyone go home and make zesty baked Ritz crackers with butter, Ritz crackers, ranch seasoning, and Parmesan. And let us know what you think. Does this sound yummy? Da.
Maggie, are you ready for your fact?
I am.
Experts agree that squeaky toys offer dogs a way to connect with their natural prey drive because it mimics the sound of a scared or injured animal, which immediately activates the urge to hunt.
I have to admit, I was holding my breath for how this was going to turn horrible. And it didn't. I kind of knew that. I knew that. But
Really?
so I had 2 dogs. Now I only have 1. Rest in peace, Tessa.
We miss you,
Uh,
Tessa.
who was a great dog. She's a Catahoula, which is a hunting breed. But when she had squeaky toys and little stuffed toys, she took care of them like her babies. She loved these dolls. She had them for like her whole life, and she would just nibble them on their fur, like clean them up, loved them, kept them on her bed. Fabulous mother. We adopt Della, who is not a hunting dog. Della is a lap dog. She's a Chihuahua. She's just dumb and delightful. Della comes into our home and immediately rips the squeaky hearts out of all of Tessa's babies. Tessa then roamed the house crying, and just looking at her babies. I called Kyle, who was at work, and I was sobbing. And I was like, this dog that we have adopted has murdered our grandchildren. And honestly, it was so devastating. Tessa has since gone on, crossed the Rainbow Bridge. I hope that she is reunited with her stuffed babies. Della is still alive, still wreaking havoc in our lives, pooping and peeing places she shouldn't, just being, this princess of a puppy.
Wow.
Anyways, I don't
I
really have a lesson or moral to that. It's
that
just
is
really depressing.
look, I my fact was, fine, you were holding your breath. I should have been prepared for that story. I didn't realize Della had done that. That's so sad. I will say that one of the initial facts was like they put squeaks and toys for dogs to mimic the sound their prey makes when they catch them.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm like, that's too harsh. Similarly, we had 2 dogs, Baxter and Lady Squirrel. Lady Squirrel is still with us. Baxter has gone over the Rainbow Bridge. Homeboy, man, he was mischievous to a T, and he was very much like Della. If there was a squeaker in it, you know what that dog would do? Tear it apart till he got that little squeaker out, and then he just walk around the house with the squeaker squeaking it. And Lady Squirrel doesn't want anything to do with anything.
Yeah, she's like, just let them live. Like, we're domesticated animals.
Lady Squirrel is not allowed on one of the couches. And by not allowed on, I mean, if we're not home, she obviously gets up on the couch. But if we're home and we're in another room, she's obviously up on that couch. But the moment we walk into that room and see her, we get her off the couch. And then when that happens, she goes into this leather recliner that we specifically bought for Jamie for his first Father's Day. Jamie does not sit in that chair anymore because our dog, Lady Squirrel, sits in it.
It's her throne.
It's her throne. And 100%, she's like, we have the good life. I sit in this recliner all day. I go outside when I demand it. I get fed.
I don't need to be chasing fictional creatures, little stuffed animals pretending that they're gonna harm me, that my people want this. No. Lady Squirrel has some sense about her.
Oy vey, that dog, man. So we established that this Squeak and these toys kind of gets a dog thinking it's hunted. What's a sound, Maggie, that sets you off?
Like gets me wanting to hunt things.
It can be hunt things or agitated or excited.
I would say like a sudden scream out of nowhere. Like if my kids are playing and then all of a sudden I hear like, yeah! And it's like maybe a little exaggerated, like doesn't fit. The scream doesn't fit the crime.
Yep.
That gets my blood pressure up.
Right.
For sure. I would say that, and it's similar to like a dog toy squeak, it's like a small creature making a loud noise as if it is being hunted. And that makes me be like, ugh.
Yeah. Mine is when my husband chews cereal or anything crunchy too closely to me. That sound, I'm like, it makes my blood boil and like the back of my neck hair stand on edge because I'm just like, stop it, do not.
Is it the crunch or is it the crunch mixed with the liquid?
It's all of it. It's the sound it makes when you put the food in your mouth because there's like a gasp of air, because I'm putting food in my mouth. Then the crunching, but it's echo chamber within your cheeks. So it's not like a clear, like cute chip bite. It's like this. And then it's like all of it together, the lips moving. And I'm like, it's just too much for any one person to handle that sound.
I get it. I get that for sure.
I love my husband, but just don't chew next to me.
Yeah, go chew in the other room on your leather recliner. That's it for this episode. Wasn't that fun?
Now it's time for you to subscribe and follow.
And share this episode with a friend.
Ooh, maybe even your bestie.
Find us everywhere online at Unstable Topics. And for more antics, visit us at The Monthly Junk.
Bye.
Bye. Peace.